Hello and welcome back to the PES 2020 Master League with AS Roma. We're breezing through the season fairly decently. There's some rhyming in there, aren't I? I'm a poet and I didn't even know that I was one. So yeah, we're just at the end of October now, coming into November. And as per usual, we've played quite a number of games off camera. 4 if I can count, which is difficult enough at the best of times. So as per usual, we're going to look into those games before we get into the 2 games which will be in this episode, away at Fiorentina and at home to AC Milan. Quite a few games in this recap to get through. I think there's 4, 2 of which are in the Coppa Italia against Pordenone, a Serie B team. And the thing about PES normally in when you play teams that are newly promoted or have just or are a league below you, they tend to play ridiculously. And they're very difficult to break down, which I was expecting to be the case against Pordenone, but Mirko Antonucci had different ideas. He had a wild attempt with his first effort, but his second attempt goes on goal, and Mirko Antonucci gets another goal in his fledgling career, as Pordenone have a shot that goes over the top. That's pretty much as they troubled us throughout the game. Shot coming in from Russo, goes out for a corner, and from that resulting corner, Harit is out jumped. It breaks to Antonucci, who gets his second goal of the game, his first ever brace in professional senior football. For the young lad, he was our original youth prospect that we were going to give plenty of time to, and I think we've given him ample time, and in that time he's proven himself to be a useful asset on that left hand side. Although Pordenone were determined not to lie down. As this ball came in, the referee gives a penalty against this. Now I thought this was ridiculously soft, as everybody else seems to. Everyone is slightly miffed, as you're about to see. The ball comes in towards Kamada. Is it Kamada? I don't know. And it's 6 of one and half a dozen, and it's just a bit of a soft one, I reckon. But Candeloni steps up, and Morante saves it. So justice, in my mind, is done. But of course, I'm going to feel like it's justice done because it was done against me. Nothing anybody though could do about that, as Mirko Antonucci crashes in his and our third of the game to get his first professional hat-trick, and what a way to do it. Here's the angle for his third goal. He's absolutely smashed it. Keeper absolutely no chance, and we take a 3-0 advantage into the second leg. All 3 goals from young Mirko Antonucci. Gets his first match ball, which I'm sure he will treasure. And oh mate, you don't want to do that. It's a little bit iffy, and maybe save that for in the night times when you're on your own. Whatever you're into, I'm not one to judge. That's absolutely fine. So we pretty much rolled with the same team going into the second leg. I figured if they can get it done in the first leg, there's no reason why they can't do it in the second leg. And you know the way I said earlier on that lower down teams tend to play like prime Barcelona against you? Well, that's exactly what happened in this one. As they came forward with their first attack of the game and took the lead, Mazzocco with a diving header, really nice goal to be fair, and they took the lead there, and Monticello comes in, a big mistake. To be fair, both their goals have been 2 mistakes at the back, and not only have we conceded for the first time in about, I think, 6 or 7 games, we've conceded 2, and they had the wind in their sails, proverbially speaking. As we played a ball over the top for Centurion, and I was like, do I shoot? No, I'll sweat it. And I thought, balls of sweat. I've ballsed up the sweat here. I've ball sweat. Oh, what am I talking about? But Antonucci is able to squeeze it in, and he gets his 4th goal in 2 games. So, but yeah, they were so difficult to break down. So difficult. They kept the ball. I couldn't get anywhere near them. Eventually, when I did get the ball, we couldn't play a single pass to where it was meant to go, but we pick up a break from their free kick on the edge of our area. Antonucci runs about 70 yards, and so unlucky, he hits the post. He deserved a goal after that run, but Edin Dzeko gets the easiest goal of his career, a tap in virtually on the goal line, and Dzeko is back in the goals, and that is how it ended, 2-2. We are through by, I think it's, was it 5-2 on aggregate, but my god, we made it a lot harder for ourselves than we really should have, which is not the kind of form we want going into a Champions League game, especially considering how much we've underwhelmed thus far in the Champions League. Of course, we did beat Ajax in our last game, but we lost our opening game against Leipzig, and Dinamo Zagreb took the lead through Dani Olmo, an absolute cracker from the lads who were supposedly going to be the weakest team in this group. They have gone ahead of us at the Stadio Olimpico, to prove that they are not going to be the whipping boys of the group. Gabi Barbosa finds Cengiz Ünder, who manages to get the ball away from them, gets the shot away, and Cengiz Ünder is proving to yet again be vital in our season. A vital cog in the proverbial machine. I wanted him to pick the ball up, but they decided to absolutely bundle him instead, which is not ideal considering. But we come from behind to equalise against Dinamo Zagreb. They came forward again, and Dani Olmo with another shot, and Lopez has to make another big save, otherwise we would have been a smidge screwed. We came forward again, Pellegrini with a shot. It was a game of few chances, and that was pretty much it. It was a very stubborn game. The ball was in midfield a lot of very what's the word I'm looking for? A very bitty game. Not a whole heap for the watching crowd to enjoy. And once again, we've only got a point out of that game. We do sit second in our group, 2 points ahead of Zagreb. Ajax only on 1 point. Leipzig unbeaten at the top of the group on 9 points. So as it stands, we're looking good to go through. But there are still 3 games to go, of course. And we come into the final game of this roundup, this recap, against Cagliari. Now, if you've been watching this Master League since the beginning, you know that we like playing against Cagliari because we absolutely batter them generally. However, Nandez was tired of being battered and decides, nope, I'm gonna disrupt your plans somewhat. By the way, can we talk about how nice that Cagliari kit is? It's like a child coloured it in with crayons, but I really like it. I think it's really nice. But yeah, what was not nice was us going behind to a team that we perennially batter. Like Gabi Barbosa, God love him, he had so many chances in this game after they scored, so many chances, but I thought this is going to be one of those games where you get loads of chances and things just don't go your way. As Kluivert gets a shot away, cracks off the post, that was the point where I thought, well, this is just not happening today. Until Spinazzola played in Justin Kluivert, who scores an absolutely ridiculous goal, to be fair to him. Unbelievable techers, I believe, is what they used to say around 2005. I'll bring that back, sure, why not? And Kluivert, I think, gets his first of the season after being thoroughly inconsistent last season. Speaking of thoroughly inconsistent, that was what Barbosa was throughout this game, but he proves me wrong as he crashes in a shot with his left foot, and we take the lead. We turn the game around within about 5 or 10 minutes, and we take a 2-1 lead as Florenzi with a free kick. It's a combination of post and keeper to deny him another spectacular goal. And finally, in the 90th minute, Dzeko had come on, and Dzeko gets his first Serie A goal in quite some time. But I'm delighted for him. Last season's main man, staking a claim to get back into the starting lineup again with an absolutely ferocious strike. Keeper absolutely no chance. And that is how this one would end, by 3-1. We came from behind, we made it hard on ourselves, but we do get the win. We still sit on top of the Serie A table, a single point ahead of Bologna, 3 points ahead of Juventus, 4 points ahead of Inter Milan. Any advantage that we have, we will take, no matter how slim. So a mixed bag of results in the past few games, but we are still top of the Serie A table, still sitting second in the Champions League group, so it's not all bad. Hopefully we will continue that form in today's two games. What am I talking about? Doing 2 episodes in a day, that will require doing actual work, and I'm adverse to that entirely. First of our 2 games today, I should say, is against Fiorentina. At the Artemio Franchi, against the team of Padelli in goal, Milenkovic, Rasmussen, Dalbert and Gilberto, Badelia, Benassi, Davo, Ribery is still there, madly enough, Chiesa and Kevin Prince Boateng. We've made a few changes to the lineup. Santon comes in at left back, Spinazzola's a little bit tired and I want to keep him for the Milan game. Diawara comes in, Kluivert gets a start, and of course Barbosa keeps his place up front. We only sit a point ahead of Bologna, surprise Bologna in second in the table, so hopefully we can get another win to keep our position at the top of the table. Look at that lovely kit. Not enough purple in modern football these days, I believe, so we need to get that rectified. Not a fan of the black shorts though. I think stylistically it's a little bit off, but our away kit is lovely, as is the style of football we've been playing. I'm getting better at these segues. Inside forward Dabo gives it to Boateng to turn and shoot, and Lopez has to make the early save. Fiorentina pressing the issue early on here. Get it back, it's Federico Chiesa, pushed away by Lopez, and the follow-up from Ribery is gathered by Lopez as well. We switched off from the corner, we got very laxed, and we were almost being paid for it, except for our Spanish number 1, well, technically number 13, keeping us in the game. Here is Chiesa. It's in towards Boateng. Lopez hesitated, and Kevin Prince Boateng, of all people, has made us pay, and he's boogieing like a mad yoke as Fiorentina take a surprise lead. Boateng from distance. Boateng has crashed it against the top of the crossbar. Diawara to Under. Looks for the run of Zaniolo and finds him. It's Nicola Zaniolo. And Padelli with an unorthodox save. But he keeps it out of the net. Ball into the area looking for Boateng again. It's headed out by Santon only as far as Chiesa. Federico Chiesa doubles Fiorentina's advantage, and we are in a very, very difficult situation now. 2-0 down. We have been extremely sloppy throughout this entire game. Our passing has been awful. Our marking has been even worse. And Fiorentina have made us pay. And this could be our first loss in the Serie A season, if I remember rightly. I don't think we've lost in the league so far. Pellegrini, Barbosa. Nice flick. Under's there. Cengiz Under! That is a terrific goal from Cengiz Under, who picks the ball up and looks to get us right back into the game. A phenomenal goal. Great build-up play. It's our first decent piece of build-up throughout the entire game. And Cengiz Under gets yet another goal this campaign. I need to check and see how many he's got, because it must be a good few. Lovely little back heel from Barbosa to find him. And an even better finish from Cengiz Under. Zaniolo. Ball forward for Pellegrini. He's got space to run into. He's got Barbosa running in behind it. It's Barbosa! And just like that, we are back on level terms through Gabriel Barbosa. Very scrappy, but we will take it. Look at the space for Pellegrini to run into. Barbosa runs off his man, gets there just ahead of Padelli, who does get a touch on it, but it does end up in the back of the net. That's all we care about, and we've come from 2 goals down to level it before the end of this first half. That's a very tidy finish from Barbosa, but Padelli is unlucky, but we are back on level terms. Mancini. Pellegrini. Centurion. Releases Spinazzola. Gets the ball in towards Zaniolo. It's headed out. In there on the edge of the area. Zaniolo. Centurion. Spinazzola. Gets it across. Barbosa! Gabigol comes up clutch yet again. In the 89th minute of the game. That is the response of potential champions. 2-0 down. And we've turned it around to lead 3-2. With what, a minute of normal time to go. Gabi Barbosa, £44 million he cost us in January. And he is paying it back in spades. Look at that leap. And Padelli really shouldn't be beaten at his near post. But we lead the game. Crucial that. As we approach the end of the game, Padelli's going to play it short. And there it is. What a comeback. 2-0 down after 26 minutes. And we turn it around to win by 3-2. What a result that is. That is the momentum that we need. Of course, we stay at the top of the Serie A standings, 22 points. We now have, what, a 3-point gap over Juventus. Bologna drew their last game. Juve won, so we're 3 points ahead of Juve and Bologna. That is crucial to open up that gap. We need to capitalise on any mistakes that they might make. And we have done to give us a 3-point gap. And we are still unbeaten in the league. 8 games played, 7 wins, 1 draw, no losses. Now this isn't good. We've just received an email about an injury to Daniele Regani. Expected recovery sometime in November for a bruise. Come on, mate. You're meant to be a big, tough tackling centre-back. Awful. Either way, we've got capable cover in Martinez, Quarta and Chris Smalling, so it's not the end of the world, but ideally He's one of our best players, so ideally I would like to have him available. And with that, we go into the second and final game of this episode against AC Milan at home. We roll with the usual lineup, of course, except of course for Martinez Quarta, who comes in for the injured Rugani. Harit gets a start, and El Shaarawy and Cristante are back in the starting lineup against a Milan side of Dahlberg in goal, who, if I remember rightly, last year he was playing for Watford, or was it 2 years ago, in a PES game that I remember playing, and he was like 67 rated and he was unbeatable, which was infuriating. So hopefully he's not like that today. So Donnarumma must have been sold. Either way, he's in goal. Masaccio, Romagnoli, Rodriguez, Calabria, Bilia, Krunic, Kessié, Çalhanoğlu, Lucas Paqueta and Ante Rebic. It's a really good side on paper, but I think in the league they're sitting like 10th currently, which is not ideal for them, I suppose, but we don't really care about them. We only care about us and keeping our position at the top of the Serie A table. Under the lights in Rome, does it get any better than that? Well, possibly, it depends on who you ask, I suppose. But for us, at this exact point in time, it doesn't really get much better. As we sit atop of the table, 3 points clear, up against the Italian giants. Maybe not so much anymore, but still a big team in AC Milan, as we look to keep this form going and stay top of the league. Cristante, and now Harit, has to make a little bit of space for himself. I mean, Harit gets the shot away, and it's not far wide. How many men Milan have behind the ball? Difficult to get in behind here, but we have done within there. And still going, Chenga's in there, and Dahlberg makes the save. Harit, Barbosa in there, looks to turn away from Ricardo Rodriguez. Chenga's in there with a shot, and Dahlberg forced into a save at his near post. That's probably the best chance we've had of the game so far, which is a little bit depressing. We have an option here with Florenzi with this corner. Can he get the delivery right? He can. It's in there somewhere. It's... what? Is it a pen? The referee's given a penalty. The referee has given a penalty. I have absolutely no idea what for. It was a mad scramble in the box. Let's have a look here. It's apparently a foul on Barbosa. He's just decided to fall over, and the ref's given a pen. You know what? I'll take it. I'll absolutely take it, considering this game has been dreadful so far. We've had no real chances. Who is our best penalty? This is how little we get penalties. I have no idea who our best penalty taker is. It's Florenzi. Now, penalties on PES, of course, as you know, are extremely difficult to take some of the time. So Florenzi, I'm aiming bottom left just for clarity, and he's hit it down the middle, but that doesn't matter, it's gone in. I have no idea how to take penalties on PES. Usually if you tap it, it goes bloody 700 miles an hour over. If you hold it, God knows what happens. It never goes in the direction you want it, but it's gone in the back of the net. The foul on Barbosa, and Florenzi was meant to go bottom left, but it's gone straight down the middle. It's in the back of the net, that's all I care about. And we have a 1-0 lead. The first pen of the series. Mental. We're like, what, 2 and a bit? We're a bit into our second season, and it's our first pen. Çalhanoğlu. Castillejo. He's been brought down on the edge of the area. Is that going to be a penalty, or is it a free kick? I think it's a free kick. Or is it a dive? Has he dived, the scamp? Let's have a look. I don't know, but he has apparently dived. Have some of that, you mustachioed moron. Dzeko still going. Edin Dzeko wraps up the points. The big man, he's not getting as much game time this season, but he's still proving to be as important as he's always been. Last season's main man gets on the score sheet yet again. Great strength and determination. And on his left foot, he slots it past Dahlberg. 2-0, and surely now the points will be ours, as we will look to establish ourselves at the top of the table. Edin Dzeko, what an absolute man. Deep into the 4 minutes of added time, we're going to take another win. We're going to keep another clean sheet, as we have done. It was a struggle, it was scrappy, it was hard fought, but a very, to be fair, fortunate penalty that we get that Florenzi scores, and Edin Dzeko off the bench to seal the victory. 2-0 win over Milan, and we stay top of the Serie A table. Bologna have lost again, so they have really dropped. They've dropped down to 5th in the space of 2 games. Juventus stay in 2nd, 3 points behind us. Inter Milan 4 points behind us, and Atalanta round out the top 4, 5 points behind us. Who is bottom of the table? Chievo, Genoa and Udinese propping up the table. But we sit at the very tippity top of Serie A. So just before we go, we're going to have a little look at some of the stats at this stage of the season. Where Cengiz Ünder has 5 goals in 12 games, Dzeko 4 in 10. This is in all comps, of course. Where is Gabi Barbosa? Barbosa has 11 goals in 12 games. Of course, he did get those 5 in 1 game, which is mental. Antonucci's got 4 in 5. He got a hat-trick, of course. Who else has scored, putting the ball in the net? Zaniolo's got 2. Kluivert with 1, obviously. Florenzi with 2. And that's it for the goal scorers overall. Assists-wise, Spinazzola has 5. Is he leading the way? Spinazzola is leading our assists with 5. Well, I did not expect that from left-back, but I'll take that. Who's after that? Zaniolo on 4. That's a bit more expected. Harit with 3. And El Shaarawy with 2, as does Gabi Barbosa. So we're looking pretty good going forward. But with that, we come to the end of this episode. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. If you did enjoy this video, of course, do hit that like button, do hit that subscribe button, and do hit the bell icon so you're notified of when we make new videos. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed and who has liked videos and everything, and who has been leaving us lovely comments. And if you haven't subscribed, do think about it. We think you'd quite enjoy it. We do make a whole heap of football-related stuff. Of course, it's quite limited at this during this current situation. But yeah, we're trying our best, as everybody is. So thank you to everyone for your continued support. And yep, as always, just stay safe, stay sensible, wash your hands, all the stuff that all the medical professionals are telling you. You don't need an idiot on the internet telling you that. But yeah, just be safe and be sensible. But once again, thank you so much for watching, and as always, we will see you in the next one.